watch parts of this game?
Yes.
Okay. I'd sat there and watched through the whole thing. Um, but before we do that, fucking thank you guys for joining the MattCast podcast. I am Matty Light, joined by my co-host Matty J. I ain't doing it again. I almost slipped up. But so college football playoff championship game was just yesterday. I sat there and watched the game. I say it was a pretty close game. The scoreboard doesn't show it, just because like all around, like the first half was all Ohio State. It was
100%.
minus Notre Dame's 7.5 minute first drive of the game. They took their sweet time going down the field, and then Ohio State didn't score until the second quarter.
And
All because they
yeah.
killed so much time, which I think was a great way to do it. But then they just went 3-and-out, 3-and-out, 3-and-out after that, and just could not get a drive together. And it's also like Notre Dame.
Watching the game, I definitely felt like this thing of like, I'm not comfortable if I'm a Ohio State fan.
Yeah,
But at halftime, I was like, all right, Ohio State's
he's
gonna
up.
win.
No, yes, I agree. But like when Notre Dame started getting 3 touchdowns unanswered, it
Notre Dame? Notre Dame didn't get 3 touchdowns unanswered. You mean
so,
Ohio?
sorry. Correction.
And I mean, it was
They
really
got 16 points unanswered though, right?
yeah, and like
And they cut it within a 1-score game.
it was an 8-point game, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And then they were
then
driving down the field.
they let dude Will Howard is gonna be a pretty high
Yeah.
draft pick. That guy is really
Yeah.
fucking well.
And
He can be really fucking good.
like I think Notre Dame really set themselves up in a good position if they're able to hold them on that 3rd and 11 right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they had held them right there, bro, the time would have gone down to a 2-minute warning. You would have had 150 left
Mm-hmm.
on the clock after a punt.
When they brought what it was like a 7-man rush,
Yeah.
and the corner gave him too much cushion and just got
That's when I
burnt.
turned off the game though. Was at that point.
That's when you turn it off. That's when I
Yeah.
was like, all right, that nail is in the
Yeah.
coffin. That is the
But I was sitting
final.
there like the coffin's open
Mm,
and he's still the Undertaker.
sure.
So like it could still happen, but as soon as that 70-yard touch or throw
Yeah.
happened, I was just like, close it, lock it up. I'm turning off and going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
That's when I called it a game. Was right there, and that's how they got the field goal. Otherwise, it was just a fucking 1-point game
Yeah.
or 8-point game, so 1 score. And yeah, I was really pulling for Notre Dame there at the end. I was just like,
But no, they got the touchdown, and then I thought the field goal they got off of a turnover.
no, the
It
field
was
goal.
it was on a 4th down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they stopped Notre Dame on a 4th down, and they just
Notre Dame boinked it on the left upright from the right hash.
yes, yeah, I remember that. Hold on, I thought they got like short field position, but
Yeah,
yes,
they
I
did.
definitely
Yeah.
remember, dude. And like,
So yeah,
dude, I was questioning that field goal. It's like, why even do a field goal here?
Yeah.
Like, I know that they said that Ohio State's got a really good red zone defense, but you guys are driving on them right
Yeah.
now, and you guys are making like
and you're
what
on
they had to
4th
do.
and goal
But then
from the 9.
they had to do like 2 4th down conversions that drive, or
Yeah.
they did one already. Like,
They did one already.
just do it again. You know, like
Yeah.
what's what happens, and
Yeah.
this is like armchair quarterback
armchair
Hunter,
coaching.
like you know, hindsight being what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, this touchdown pass that they're just showing that shit was crazy.
Dude, wild.
Yeah.
Like the whole game, like from halftime forward, dude, I was like, this is gonna be a game, a classic. If Notre Dame could pull it off, or at least get the tie, or like maybe get a touchdown.
The only
and then
reason I'm
miss a
happy
2-point.
Ohio State wins is now that
Back-to-back Big Ten.
back-to-back Big Ten, but whenever like the conferences win, they get money that distributes amongst the conferences.
Yeah.
So Nebraska gets money for them winning.
Yeah.
If Notre Dame won, since they're independent, they would have kept all of that money.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 20 grand or
Yeah.
something, which would have went a long way.
Yeah,
a
for
long
Notre
fucking
Dame,
way.
Yeah. But like again, like I don't think the final score really shows how close that game was. Because when they were driving, when Notre Dame was driving, they panned to like the crowd, like the Ohio State fans, and they're like,
And don't get me wrong, there was definitely a point where you're sitting there like, oh my God, are they gonna fucking blow
Yeah.
it? But I didn't I mean, it was one of those things too.
She
And
said at that time.
it would not have surprised me. Like it would not have surprised me if Ohio State would have blew that game
Yeah.
too.
Oh, 100%.
Um, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
congrats then.
Congrats to Ohio
Congrats,
State.
Colonel. I
Yeah.
think wasn't that his alma mater?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
shout out to him.
Um, but yeah, like I had a great time watching it, that game. Then like this one kind of reminded me of the fucking not as devastating as the fucking the Bills Ravens game with like the 2-point conversion right there at the end.
Mm,
It wasn't as disappointing as that one, but like I kind of drew a little bit of like, damn, 2 games in a row of this shit of like what could have happened,
yeah,
but
that
you
was
fucking flopped on it.
bro. That was the Rams too.
Yeah,
The Rams was definitely a shoulda, coulda, woulda.
yeah,
That game broke my fucking heart.
yeah.
I was not.
Not
And
happy.
the thing is, it's not even that I wasn't happy. It's not that I'm mad. And like going over it, we knew that was a tough game. What I guess for NFL, how do you want to start? You want to let's just start in order. We'll do Chiefs, Texans,
Yeah.
and then we'll go forward. Did you watch any of that game?
I did not watch the Chiefs Texans, but I watched a lot of
The highlights, the memes, the
the memes, the
conversations, the
conversations, and then
controversy.
my little bit of research for this week's was just listening to other sportscast
Hmm.
podcasts, and all of them were done on yesterday, on Monday,
Yeah,
right before the college football. Um, and literally everybody was talking about how poorly refed the Chiefs Texans game was.
I was at Thanksgiving dinner at my grandpa's house, and his wife, not my grandma, his
Yeah,
wife said that she read an article that according to the NFL, they get like 99% of the calls correct. And when she told me that, I was like, that cannot be true.
no,
And she was like, what are you saying that as like a, and I was like, because I watch it,
yeah,
and I would be surprised if you did, like, if you sat down with a game on a week, how many of them would be
yeah,
plus 80%
mhm,
correct. Either if they got all the calls correct, like
yeah,
that were thrown, or the ones that weren't thrown. And that was what I was asking. I was like, there's got to be more to this
yeah.
than what meets the eye. I'm like, and who's also reporting it? Is it
Mhm.
the NFL? Because, like, yeah, no
Was it the
shit.
NFL's fucking internal
Yeah,
like
no
yeah,
shit. Like,
no
but
shit.
who's doing the, because I was sitting there, it's like,
Give me all the camera angles from that game from just one game,
yeah.
a rule book, and I will go through frame by frame and pick it apart. And I guarantee you,
Because, like, that's the thing, too. Like, they can be chippy and they don't throw
yeah,
flags. In that instance, they threw too many
yeah,
flags. And it's one of the things that I get it. Player safety is important. But when you take it to the point of you're using it to take advantage of the defense in their
yeah,
position, there's not a lot of rules. The ones I can think of is like false start, illegible man downfield, ineligible man downfield. Excuse me, that's what I meant to say. Um,
offsides,
offsides. But even with offsides, they always say like,
yeah,
"Hey, back up." Like
yeah,
offsides is pretty rarely called. I would
hmm
like to think
illegal formation.
illegal formation.
And then the last one I could probably think of is 12 men on the field.
But again, very
Yeah,
rare, and I feel like I see it more on the defensive side. Whenever the offensive side does the thing where they like come off really fast, or they do
yeah,
like a quick change, like personnel change, and you try to catch the defense not paying
yeah,
attention, not doing their assignments well, and it's like they have too many people on the field.
yeah,
Other than that, a lot of fucking penalties are on the onus of the defense
yeah,
to be on your P's and Q's,
mhm,
even when you're looking at like, okay, for example, face mask. You
yeah,
can't grab a offensive player's face mask and put him down, but when you're
yeah,
doing a face mask, bro, how many times have you seen them fucking like hit the,
yeah.
especially like
Or
in the
with a stiff arm. Yeah,
olden days, and they grab the face mask and kind of use
yeah.
that to like drag them down, like.
Or like fuck Mean Joe Green, the fucking clip of the just yanking someone down like
Definitely,
that. Yeah,
definitely, definitely can't do that anymore. Like
no.
illegal hands to the face, that's getting
Yeah.
but that's on both sides.
And
So
like
it's
some of the
very
face
hard.
masks,
And
it's just like,
I went back and I was looking at the Algier thing that where he hit Trevor Lawrence.
mhm,
And I really do see both sides of that, where it's like, dude, he tattooed Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
It's also his fucking job to
Yeah.
fucking like, and that's the thing. I think if you cross that line of scrimmage,
Mhm.
you are another player, dude.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that as a quarterback, you need to take that risk. If you're crossing that line to go get yards,
Mhm.
that's what's gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
plain and simple.
Mhm.
Like if you don't want to get hit, don't
Yeah.
cross that or take a knee
Yeah.
slide, but don't drop to a knee when they are like that distance
Yeah.
away.
And you see them lunging at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And then you drop.
especially with how replay assist works now,
Mhm.
they can pick up flags that like if a flag is thrown,
Yeah.
instant replay can come in. I guess it depends on the flag, but they can review it and go like, "Hey, actually, that's not a flag. You go ahead
Yeah.
and pick it up." And that's I don't know why they don't use more of that by going upstairs and having like a checks and balances. Like, yeah,
Oh,
a line
100%.
judge throws a flag because it looks like when the guy tripped and fell, it looks like it's offensive pass
Mhm.
interference. But after going back and look at it, he just trips on his own feet.
Yeah.
Not a specific
Yeah.
example from any game, but
And
yeah,
like
I feel bad for Texans fans.
same here. And like it
Because they are like in the weird boat of sorry, Aaron, the same boat of like the Commanders fans,
yeah.
where I was consistently picking against them.
Yeah.
Not that the fact that they don't, it's just they don't have enough talent compared to these other teams that
Yeah.
they're playing.
But this week they had more talent compared to the Chiefs.
Their defense,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the defense is matched up super well.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the one play I will give them, the Chiefs that is, did you see that diving? So Pat Mahomes is going down
Oh
and
yeah, and
he
he
throws it to
nails
Travis
Travis
Kelce.
Kelce right in the numbers
Dude,
too.
that one I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like can't really say that the refs helped him
Yeah.
out with that one.
No, because he's like mid fall, ain't like knees hadn't hit yet, but
Bullet
he's like, yeah, and just
straight to him.
yeah, great throw.
Where do you replicate that? Where do you practice that, dude?
Never. You don't
Yeah.
practice that. Like
Fuck
now
it.
there might be people that grab like a fucking cable and you're in a harness and you're just practicing throwing shit like that. But it was never a thing ever.
So I feel bad for the Texans fans to have your season go out like that where you're just like, damn, I feel cheated,
Yeah.
you know. And yeah, those calls are bullshit. It's also one of the things that like I think everybody knew going in
Yeah.
that was a
That's it. Yeah.
possibility.
That was the script.
So sucks.
Yeah.
I hope the Bills take care of the business.
100%.
But it's in Arrowhead.
Yeah.
So let's trans you want to just do AFC then NFC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bills Ravens. Loved that game
Great game.
all around.
This honestly this minus the Chiefs Texans game, I loved all the games.
Yeah.
I loved all the 3
100%.
of the games
Oh yeah.
because you had one upset. The Bills and the Ravens, we were talking about it was a fucking pick 'em game.
Yeah.
Like
And if you bet the under of this or
the
the over,
over.
yeah, because it was a 1 point difference.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Probably killing yourself. Or just mad at Mark
Yeah.
Andrews too,
Yeah.
even if you're not a Ravens fan.
Yeah. Dude,
Um,
like I was sitting there, like I was working on a project down in the basement
mhm,
and I had the game on in the background.
mhm,
And then I'm starting to like, and I'm glancing over at the game, watching it. And then I hear the Ravens start going on their final drive. So I just couldn't put down my project and
mhm.
just stare at my phone as
I
it's
was sitting
going.
there because that was the thing. That wasn't to win them the game. That was to tie it up. And
Yeah.
I was sitting there. I was like, dude, if you're the Bills fan, you're not mad about it going into overtime.
No.
And I mean, can you go into that game? Lamar fumbled, a really bad fumble, like
Lamar
one.
fumbled twice, I thought.
Um, maybe I thought
No,
like
he had one interception, one fumble.
is there a where's like the go to the box score? Sorry. And then there should be a fumble section. Fumbles. Yeah, Mark Andrews, that's who fumbled
Yep.
in Lamar. Um,
And then
Highland Wallace.
yep, Wallace.
Um, and then Von Miller. And so like
Yeah.
the Tylan Wallace, he recovered his own fumble, which you can't say for the stars of your offense in
No.
Lamar and Mark Andrews. Dude, I was sitting there watching this game and I was like, this might be I could be wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing less and less games where Mark Andrews is going to be on the Ravens. I wouldn't be surprised if they traded him away and started
Yeah.
just going with Likely more.
Or have likely the starter with Mark Andrews as a backup.
Maybe. I mean, look,
Because, like, even
fucking
keeping Mark Andrews on the team, he's a solid backup
yeah.
with Isaiah Likely. Like,
I
I
mean,
wouldn't trade him away just because of this.
but the thing, I'm not saying because of this. I'm just
But, like,
saying
throughout the season, yeah, he wasn't performing like he had been.
he's a big name.
Yeah.
There's plenty of markets that would love a solid tight end like
Yeah.
he.
But if the Ravens are wanting to go for another Super Bowl run, I think that's a pivotal point to have two solid tight ends,
It doesn't hurt.
especially with Derrick Henry as your running back.
Hmm.
You want that, the two
Yeah,
tight ends, the two heavies on the
and
blocking.
I get that, but you could probably go and trade and go get a wide receiver because their wide
Yeah,
receiver room, like Zay Flowers was hurt if he was in that game. Even though Justice Hill is a good running back,
yeah,
at like whenever they pass to him, he's really good in those areas. Not this game; he only had two receptions for 7 yards, but like Nelson Aguilar,
yeah,
1 target, 0 catches. Rashard Bateman, 4 or 5 targets, 4 receptions. Try and get a wide receiver.
yeah,
Like Zay Flowers is good, but get him some help.
yeah,
Like your wide receiver, and that's the thing. You got Derrick Henry, you got Justice Hill, you got Isaiah Likely. You can afford to lose either
yeah,
Mark Andrew or Isaiah Likely
hmm
and try to fucking
yeah.
make some moves.
So moving on. So there was two games I did not watch this week.
Mm.
It was the Chiefs Texans, Lions Commanders.
Yeah. So Lions Commanders, I watched that Saturday night. It was on the same time as the UFC. So I had both on. And at points, even when like Jared Goff threw his like second or third, I was sitting there like the Lions can still make it and come
Oh
back.
yeah, they've done it before.
And it just never
Yeah,
happened. And that was the thing. I was just like, dude, like what the fuck happened? Y'all,
yeah,
you go through so much adversity this year
hmm
just to give it up to a team that like everybody except for the Commanders
yeah,
expected you to go out and
yeah.
win.
Demolish.
Yeah. So that sucks. I really like Dan Campbell and the Lions.
Yep.
But with how Dan Quinn is doing with the Commanders and how Jaden Daniels, I think Jaden Daniels is going to be the first
Yeah.
rookie quarterback to go and win a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's very possible.
Very possible. Like, and if even if they don't win it, they are set up,
Hmm.
especially coming into this year's draft. They could probably pick up some good receivers too to help out that entourage or fill in the gaps.
I would go for your defense. Your defense ranked 18th. And
Yeah.
like that's the thing. I can't remember who said it, but I saw it on the Bustin' with the Boys too, where
Yeah.
like it's rookie quarterbacks going to the Super Bowl, and it's like Brock Purdy had
Yeah.
like the number 2 ranked defense in the league,
Ben had number one ranked
and
defense.
they're like Jane Daniels in the Commanders 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, go get yourself like you got Bobby Wagner, who I don't know how much longer he can be
Yeah.
playing, and you have Marshawn Lattimore,
hmm
both very veteran players
Yeah.
to build around that team. And you got Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Like you got like man, respectfully, you got some washed up head coaches
hmm
who are like making it work.
Yeah.
So your offense, I think, is fine. Scary Terry is amazing.
Austin
Austin
Eckler.
Eckler with Brandon
Yep.
Robinson. And who's their other running back that they have?
I'm blanking on the third one.
But they're all
Yeah.
great. Zach Ertz has been
Elite.
reviving his
Yeah.
fucking career. Like he had an okay career. at Arizona.
and Philly.
Okay, yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah. Like for sure he was good in Philly, but when he
Mhm.
went away, I think he was injured for a while.
Yeah.
He had a lot of injuries and but just sticking with the Commanders, he is like really balled out for
Yeah.
them. You can maybe get another wide receiver. I
Mhm.
wouldn't go and draft him first overall, maybe like your third or fourth round.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think. You got Scary Terry, and then
I couldn't think of any other receivers
can
other
you
than Scary Terry.
can you pull him up? But fucking Terry McLaurin's is fucking killing it right now. Mm, Jeremy McNichols, Jamison Crowder, a lot of a lot of old people. I mean, you got Marcus Mariota. That's the thing. They got a lot of
Yeah.
veteran players in the league. Dante Fowler Jr. He was on with the Rams for a while. You got a lot of veteran players on this team. And I mean, what Zach Ertz won a Super Bowl. That's about it that I can think of. I can't think of anybody else that's like Marcus was, solid. He didn't win no Super Bowls, but
Mhm.
he was okay.
I think a solid backup quarterback, Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, I mean, whenever he didn't he play a few times in
Yeah. Yep.
Atlanta,
Yeah.
maybe a season or 2 seasons ago, and he did pretty well. So
I think he also played a game with the Commanders too this season.
yeah,
Yeah.
he came in. I can't remember if Jaden Daniels got hurt or they were just like, "Hey, you're done for the day.
Yeah.
Like we're winning." Um, and I think they're saying that like this year, Jaden Daniels is like one of the few rookies, or maybe he's the only rookie that has like gone a whole game, no turnovers and no
He's the
punts,
only quarterback
and has done it 3 times.
this season.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
ever this season ever, and he did it 3 times.
Yeah.
That Eagles defense is not super solid.
Yeah.
Like for me, the Rams could have definitely won that game. There's a
Mhm.
few things here and there. We'll get into it right
Yeah.
now. Um, Honestly, the way I look at it, like how the season started going 1-4, and then like 6-6 when they're like maybe, and we started pulling all these people
Mhm.
together, and we got as far as we did. I'm very happy
Yeah.
because we had like 1 point something percent chance of making
Oh
it to the
yeah. You
playoffs.
guys
It
scraped
was
in.
No, we didn't scrape in. We just it was just a hard like at the beginning of the season, the way we
Oh yeah.
started our
Sorry.
first 5 games, it was just
I misspoke.
not to the standard that
Yeah.
we thought. And I mean, injuries for Puka Nakua and
Did it
Cooper
Cooper
Cup.
Cup?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was injured. The trade rumors around him. I know I think he's a free agent now. I hope we pick him back up.
Mhm.
Um, But for me, our defense did amazing outside of like the 3 big kind of plays we gave up.
Mhm.
And to me, that's not even on our defense. It was play calling.
Yeah.
Like the 2 big runs that we gave up to
It was just good play call for the Eagles, bad
not
for the
not like it was one of those things that like we could have got them, but in our previous game, they said like, all right, we're not gonna bring in the house and do cover zero to go try to get Marsh or
Saquon.
in the backfield.
Yeah.
And they did it twice, and it was the
Mhm.
games that or it was those drives that he got the touchdowns, the 2 big touchdowns, and outside of those, he didn't do like too much. Like
Mhm.
he had some good plays here and there, but like for a lot of it, we were kind of containing him. I mean, if you take it was like a 72-yard and like a 62-yard. You take those two away,
Mhm.
like, yes, he still burnt us, but it's not as bad as like, oh, Saquon dominated the Rams. It's
Yeah.
like he had 2 good plays on us.
Mhm.
And I think it's definitely on a player caller side. And I mean, our defensive coordinator, this is his first year.
Yeah.
He's gonna learn.
Mhm.
Zach Ertz, I think he went over to Saquon. There was like a little part where he's like, "Thanks for bailing me out," because
Mhm.
he got hurt. There's 2 big turnovers that the Rams did. A fumble by Kyron Williams when we were driving, and fucking sack, a fumble sack from Matt Stafford. the weather played effect into our like last couple drives. A lot of like
Yeah.
Tyler Higbee hit like his chest, went away. Puka just right through
Yeah.
his hands. Um, and I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, there was some missed opportunities.
Mhm.
I hope I hope that they retain a lot of the people. I hope that they keep Cooper Cup maybe for another season. If not, if that was
Yeah.
the last game, sucks. I really wish he contributed a little bit more this season than
Mhm.
he ended up doing. I mean, that was injury, and that wasn't
Yeah.
because he's washed. Like he can still go and play at an elite level. Um,
Because there was games where like Puka wasn't doing anything, but Cooper Cup,
Not even
he was
really.
showing up.
Like I know we got a good like Jordan Willington. He's gonna be a stud for us coming up. And then like Tutu is Tutu and Robinson, something Robinson. I can't remember his name. And it was great to have Tyler Higbee back and to see the way that his offensive, prowess can come and affect our game in the positive. Um, I think next time if we do play, like you gotta fucking stop Jalen Carter. That guy
Mhm.
was insane one on one, just
Yeah.
bullying our offensive line. And Jared Verse, he played his ass off, even though he
Mhm.
was going in chirping Philly and like to me, like, you know, I don't even think Philly like they were trying to make a point of it, like they put up bulletin boards of Jared
Mhm.
Verse saying like the Phillies fan annoy him. The thing is like, dude, Phillies fans do annoy fucking
Yeah.
everybody. Like, I don't think it's controversial to say, dude, like,
No.
yeah, Philly fans are pretty fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like, is there any Philly fans that that you're like, they're a pretty chill guy?
One, but that's only one.
Is he like a good Phillies fan, or he's like, my family's like the Eagles?
He's a good Phillies fan.
Hmm,
Yeah. He's pretty dedicated. And like, he'll talk his shit when they win, but
sure,
he'll give props to the other team whenever they lose.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
with the way that the Commanders, how I've been with the Commanders, and just seeing how the Rams played them, I'm honestly leaning towards the Commanders,
I am too.
which that's a part of me being bitter, I won't lie, but I definitely see
Oh,
a
with that
way.
Washington team,
I can see a
pretty
way,
lethal.
and I like the idea of the Commanders and the Bills. That's my ideal.
Yeah.
If I'm being realistic, it's probably Eagles, Bills,
Hmm.
and if I'm being cynical, Chiefs, Eagles.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
honestly like read my mind right there.
yeah,
We did not talk about this at all because
no,
that's exactly how I was thinking about it too. Like, I really want to see Commanders Bills.
yeah,
But I was going to ask, like, all right, cool. So, if you're the Commanders,
hmm
what are you telling your defense? Like, how are you prepping them for this week?
dude. The main thing is you gotta stop the run.
Yeah.
You can't thin yourselves out. You can't bring all your guys because that offensive line, even though we sacked Jalen Hurts a lot, that
Hmm.
offensive line is still no fucking joke.
Yeah.
If you can get in there and you can sack Jalen Hurts,
Hmm.
great. But
And
it's the
stop
same.
Saquon 2 yards on his first on a rush.
That's the thing. That's what I was just the same shit I said about the Rams. You got to stop. If you can stop Saquon, even not even stop. If you can limit Saquon,
Yeah.
which is probably what I should have said, is if we can limit and contain him, he's still going to
Hmm.
get a touchdown, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Cool. If we can keep him to around 150 yards or less,
Hmm.
that game is
With how
ours.
Jaden Daniels playing, how that offense is looking.
That's the thing. You can't. If you're the Commanders, you can't get behind. It's not even a defense thing. I'm talking the offense. You cannot get behind.
Yeah. You can't have
You
multiple
can't
3-and-outs in a row.
You can't. You
No.
can't you can't turn over the ball in dumb ways. You've played this team twice.
Hmm.
Can we pull up those games? I know
I think
they
the
won
Commanders won
they won the last one because damn, they're fucking
heavy favorite for the Eagles.
so they lost and then they split. But this last game is when Jalen Hurts was injured
Yep.
with the concussion. he went out in the first quarter, and then the Eagles or the Commanders had that like insane comeback.
Yeah.
Hey, tell Baby Pritchard that's Mark Andrews the tight end, not a wide receiver. Do you think they heard? Are you checking the timestamp to see hashtag?
Well, you said that gentleman's last name.
Did I?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Did I say baby, or
You
did
said
it?
baby last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it makes you, we did say it in the Mary episode, and they seem to
I'm
be
just
okay
not
with it.
sure if
We can ask,
okay.
but I mean,
I still wrote down the timestamp.
because that last name is still relatively,
Fair. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Is that a real thing?
what?
Grape, Mark
I've
Andrews,
seen some like
dude.
some
That is crazy. Like, yeah, he had a fumble, and then he had that drop pass,
yeah.
but you can't put that whole game on him.
No. It's definitely heartbreaking. And there's probably some people with Mark Andrews jerseys like diehard Philly or Ravens
Baltimore,
fans
yeah,
that are burning that jersey that day. But I don't think it's,
justified to
no,
no.
no. That game was definitely a whole lot more of a team loss, but it
Yeah.
also was a very much a very close to a team win, but there's enough of the bad plays on it as a team that stopped them.
So for
But so yeah,
if you're talking to the Bills,
if I'm talking to the Bills,
yeah,
I'm telling my
like
defense,
yeah, talk to the defense, talk to the offense, head coach.
don't even breathe on Patrick Mahomes too heavy
Mm,
because you'll get a penalty called on you. Like it's already been showed throughout this whole fucking season, especially that fucking Texans game.
mm.
Like he wasn't even hit, and they called a what was it, a helmet to helmet or something like
Roughing
that,
the passer.
roughing the passer.
Oh, you're talking about when he dropped down on the knee.
Yeah,
Yes, that was a yeah, that was not roughing the
yeah,
passer. That was
targeting or whatever.
yeah, unnecessary roughness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like he wasn't even touched, and they still called it. They even took it to review, still was called.
Hmm.
Expect to get that type of bullshit that whole time. Like if you're gonna tackle Patrick Mahomes, unless he's in open field and he's still standing,
That was one of the things, the Bills and the Ravens had a pretty chippy game.
they had a
Like it was a
pretty
very
yeah,
physical game when I was
yeah.
watching it.
And
And
see,
I was
that's what
sitting there, I was
everybody's
like,
saying is that like
you gotta be careful.
everybody watched the Chiefs Texans game and all the calls getting called. And then
Hmm.
they go to the next day and they're watching the Bills Ravens and then nothing's getting
With the amount of backlash and criticism, do you think the NFL is going to
the NFL
make
has already came out with a public statement saying they didn't get any calls wrong in the Chiefs Texans game.
really
Yes.
interesting?
So like it's gonna need like
Can you click on that game? I'm curious to see how they're looking. All right. So for the betters, is a 2-point spread in favor of Kansas City. Kansas City is minus 130 money line. Bills are plus 110, which is funny. So the Chiefs are the betting favorites. On the match predictor through ESPN, the Bills are the favorite, 54.6 to 50 or 45.4.
mhm.
It's in Arrowhead. It's expected to be cloudy, 31 degrees. That is a lot better than how it
Probably pretty
was.
windy too.
Is
If
it?
I'm gonna
Is it say?
just knowing the Midwest and how it's been the last couple of days,
Sure.
I'm gonna assume it's gonna be windy. Maybe like 15-mile-per-hour winds at most, but you never know, especially in the Midwest. I'm also curious, have the Bills and Chiefs played each other already?
Yes, they're one of the yeah.
Okay. So the Bills won that game. I was curious.
I thought you were Matt. So this season, if I'm breaking it down, this season, Josh Allen is the better quarterback.
Oh yeah.
James Cook is a better running back than um oh my god, they cut him and he's back. Not fucking
Oh, fucking, he ran over some people in a car, didn't he?
I thought he like kicked his pregnant wife or something.
I thought he was the
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I love how we had to go with like,
Yeah, I was like this awful
yeah.
allegations to say the least. They were looking at wide receiver rooms. They have the Chiefs have Juju Smith Schuster,
Who like is
Isaiah Worthy,
I think Worthy's their only really good wide
and he's
receiver.
a rookie. Do they
Yeah.
have they don't have Rashid Rice back,
Nope.
but didn't they get somebody back from their wide receivers?
I mean, we
Sorry,
can
go
look.
back to the
Yeah.
game.
So this is their IR who's listed for it.
So these are all they don't even have. So on the injury report, on their injury reserves, you got Sky Moore, McCole Hartman. So I think Rashid Rice is back in.
We can look.
Do
Let's look at
full injury
yeah.
report. Yeah. That's Arizona. You gotta go down. That's dumb.
That's so stupid.
Just give us the teams that are playing, you
And then we
goofs.
get a fucking
Fucking
ad.
ad, right?
God, I got fucking scroll all the way down. All
Right
right.
here. Yeah, Rashid Rice is back.
Well, then you have to worry about Rashid Rice then.
Who's not a
Oh,
slouch.
nope, nope. He's still down.
Oh, okay.
Injury reserve. Never mind.
Okay.
We just
The
can't read.
expected return date is February 10th, which is a day before the Super Bowl.
So,
Which that's everybody, so they're just saying like they're just done for the season.
yeah.
And that's the thing too. If I wish Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell, I wish they were playing. I would have loved to see that game.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. This is the
But you already know, like, if you're the Bills, you already know your offense elite.
better, way
Yeah, way
better.
better. Your defense just cannot
Can't
get
lose you this game.
yeah, you can't lose the game to both them and the refs. Like they have to go in knowing they're playing the refs and the Chiefs.
Yeah, turnovers and dumb penalties
Yeah,
are gonna be the big thing with the Bills.
yeah.
Like,
It's going to be all discipline for the Bills
and
defense this week.
Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey, they have something special in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna deny it.
no.
The Bills defense is
They've stood strong against some very good teams.
I mean, they got Von Miller, Damar Hamlin, who is a meme, is honestly
Actually,
not bad
not bad.
this season. Um, they had Tyler Rapp come back. He was doing pretty good for them last week. Yeah, if I'm being cynical, the Chiefs win
Yeah,
some
in
sort
the
of
script.
bullshit
Yeah,
thing, and the Eagles just run straight through the
yeah. They
Commanders.
killed Bobby Wagner first play of the game. And then next thing you know,
If I'm hopeful, man, the Bills and the Commanders. In between those two, I don't even know who I'd want to win. You know,
I go with the Bills. I think the Bills are due.
yeah, I mean, I would say also the Commanders.
Yeah, but the
I think they're
Bills have been to 5 or 6 Super Bowls and have not won a single one.
right, but the Commanders, dude, just the years, the decades of poor management under
Yeah,
Dan Snyder. I said Schneider last time, or is it Schneider? It's Schneider or Snyder.
yeah,
One's the one's the Nickelodeon guy, the other guy is the bad
yeah,
owner of the former Redskins.
yeah,
And just fucking the first year homeboy is gone, look at what they've done.
yeah,
That's a fucking story too. Just like,
mhm,
dude, we've been just eating shit
yeah,
sandwiches so long. We can fucking
mhm.
this is for Sean Taylor. This is for Will Compton. This is
For RG3.
and his fucking knees.
Yeah,
This is for I forgot the
yeah.
RG3.
Well, like, fucking on Bussin', their most recent one, they even made a joke, like, "Let's just hope nothing happens to Jaden Daniels' knees."
Oh, I didn't get that far, I
Yeah,
guess.
And they're just like, and then like someone had started to say it, and they're like, no,
No, no, no,
no,
no.
no, no,
Yeah,
no,
don't
don't.
put that out there. All right. Where do you want to go from here, man? Do you want to go college basketball?
Iowa State basketball.
All right, go ahead.
So I had made the bold prediction literally the day before
I didn't
Iowa
want to.
State had played basketball,
I'll
and
let you
then
go, but
so all right. Being truthfully honest, that also it's Tuesday right now. Iowa State is playing UCF, and it is 100-80 right now. Iowa State basketball. West Virginia, solid fucking team. This is all I gotta say, right? We were sloppy throughout the game. We made some pretty bad mistakes on offense, and it also just seemed like there was a lid on the fucking basket, and like the ball was just not rolling our way. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just sometimes how basketball goes. West Virginia, though, going to be a solid team, and I dare to say, and I'm going to fucking stick to it. West Virginia going to be a Sweet 16 team this year. I think they can make it the Sweet 16. I don't know if they make it any farther, just because they don't have a lot of size to that team. Yeah, I did.
I want to
Uh,
see it on the.
it's pretty light. You might have to get a little bit closer. Yep, they see it, Matt.
No, I want you to see it a little
Yeah,
longer.
yeah. It's yeah, it's there. Everybody can see it.
If anybody can read it, it says Matty Light jinxed Iowa State. I'll make a bold prediction next game. All right, so I'm here to report that
But you get what I'm saying though? Like that
yeah,
West Virginia team is gonna be dangerous. They don't have the size.
dude, I would fucking love it. West Virginia wouldn't start losing after this.
Yeah,
They're like, this team's elite. They know ball. Sweet 16. 3 consecutive losses in a row. It's like you're just like, I'm just gonna stop talking,
yeah.
dog.
I mean, they went up against the number 2 team in the country, who their only loss before that was the number 1 team,
Hmm.
and they
West
held
Virginia wasn't even ranked.
no, but they're also 13-4, or they were
That's what I'm
well,
saying. Like
yeah,
you're
they were
13
they
and
were.
4 and you're not ranked.
There's a lot of good teams this year.
Can we pull up the rankings and just I can just pretend?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So
So
AP and coaches.
we got Auburn for the AP. We got Auburn at number 1, Duke number 2, Iowa State number 3, Bama at number 4, Florida at number 5, Tennessee at number 6, Houston number 7, Michigan State number 8, Kentucky number 9, Marquette number 10,
How many teams make it into March Madness?
64.
God damn.
Yep.
All right.
Purdue, KU, A&M, Mississippi State, Oregon, Ole Miss, Illinois, Wisconsin, UConn, St. John's, Michigan, Missouri, West Virginia, Memphis, and Louisville. Oh, yeah, that's the and if you look at all
So
these
now
guys,
they're ranked. Wait.
West
They
Virginia's ranked now.
gotcha.
They weren't ranked before,
Right. Yeah.
but beating Iowa State got them
Definitely
ranked. Yeah.
helps. Yeah.
So they climbed 3. So they were at number
Feel
26.
like they don't move like I could be wrong. I'm
They
so new
move
to
every
this.
week.
I know. What I was
Yeah.
gonna say is it doesn't is not as dramatic as a move as it is in college
There's a
football.
whole lot more games for college
Correct.
basketball.
Yeah.
Um, and we're about over halfway through the season at this point because I think there's like 30
Mm.
games, so we're past the halfway mark. Um, but yeah, and see, West Virginia has the same record as like Michigan, or just 1 win less than Michigan. They could be playing tonight, right now. Um, they have a better record than UConn, who's ranked higher than them, but UConn also just dropped 5.
Suck on D's.
Um, but yeah, it's why I'm saying West Virginia's Sweet 16 team. I don't think they make it past that just because they don't have the height. They don't have a lot of big guys. I think their tallest player is 6'8", 6'7", and they run a just Jinx Duke.
Yeah.
I never said anything about Duke. I said West
Oh, oops.
Virginia.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Running out of room. You better stop
Yeah.
making prediction.
But yeah, that's what I have to say. This week Iowa State is there's 17 seconds left in the game, so I'm calling this a win for Iowa State. It's 108 to 83.
Dude, call it a comeback.
Yeah. It's just like you lose in a very tight game and then you come back and score triple digits. Pretty solid. But, this game absolutely no defense for Iowa State either.
Mm,
But I mean, you kept it over 20-point difference, so
for sure.
yeah. And then when does Iowa State play next? Iowa State plays Arizona State in Arizona State or at Arizona State. Win for Iowa State. Calling it.
Put money on it?
I don't gamble, but
Yeah.
yeah, if I did gamble, I'd put money
Mm.
on it
Why don't you gamble?
because I already have enough addictions
Fair.
and I don't want to add one more.
If you had to take out an addiction for gambling, which one would it be?
None of them. I love the other
Masturbating.
ones.
Yeah.
I love all
I
the
love
other
all of them.
addictions. I love all my addictions. All right, so
And on UFC?
yeah, and on UFC. Pulling it up there for you, good bud.
Hey, Matt, or Aaron,
I'm right here, bud.
can you ask Baby P a question? Okay.
Which one was it? 3-0.
311? 312? Yes. Can you ask him if he cares if I said baby last name on the MattCast? Cool. Cool. So, on less than 24 hours notice, Rihanna Mokano took on Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title of the world.
Yeah.
And I think, did he say I don't give a fuck?
Correct.
Yeah, I didn't think
Okay.
so.
We'll send it.
Because we overheard him say the Mark Andrews
Yeah.
stuff.
But
Anyway, yeah,
that's
I like Money Moicano.
yeah.
A fucking funny guy. If you get the chance, watch some of his post fight interviews in the cage. He says some wild shit. But I knew going into that one, I was like, yeah, easy clap for Islam. What's next for Islam? No idea. Do you book that fight with Arman Sarukian? Do you give him Charlie Olives? Do you let him move up and fight Rocky Edward or Bilal? Oh, he's probably not going to fight Bilal Muhammad because they're teammates. What do you do with that guy? Do you just let him just keep making a name for himself as
Yeah.
light heavyweight god?
Mhm.
I'm very interested to see. I mean, he didn't take a lot of damage. He could fight
Mhm.
probably July.
Yeah.
Marab and Nurmagomedov, fucking Khabib's cousin,
Yeah.
Khabib Nurmagomedov. I gotta figure out how to say that name. Marab Davalishvili, just honestly, like the first round, it was kind of like a toss up,
Yeah.
and then the second round, I gave it to Umar again, and then 3 and 4 were clear Marabs. And that's the thing. The third, fourth, and fifth round, Rob just like that's the thing with him is he has unreal gas tank,
Mhm.
and he didn't even look tired. Umar couldn't. take him down towards the end, and he's like standing in front of Khabib, who is that's the Dagestanis as they're wrestling,
Yeah.
standing in front of their corner, just like not even trying to defend it, just like looking like you can't take me fucking down. You
Yeah.
can't take me fucking down. Marab's gonna be a fucking issue because like even going into that fight, he was an underdog going versus Nurmagomedov,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna
Umar.
yeah, Umar. That's easier for me to say.
Yeah, there's no way in hell I'm gonna try and say that last name. I was looking at it like, no, you go ahead, bud.
I can say it, just not right now.
Yeah.
Like I have to hear someone say it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, let me
Locked
repeat
in.
it.
Yeah.
But when I'm reading it off the page, I'm like, Nurgadama, Nurhurka Durka. That's a Conor McGregor
Yeah.
joke. Just to throw that out there. Um, Yuri Prohaska versus Jamal Hill. This is the fight that one of the fights that we missed out of that could have been a title fight, and they had just a great war, and it was finished off very well with the Yuri Prohaska uh, knockout. And dude, that knockout was whole too. And but I mean Jamal made it interesting. Jamal's no slouch, and I know he gets a lot of disrespect from the fans because of the whole his whole title run situation. Like he can
Isn't
be
he the one that just kind of like does takedowns and then holds him down,
no.
or who am I thinking of for that?
I have no idea.
There
Um
was a dude that won a fight. It was in 300. He was just like, maybe it wasn't 300. Maybe it was 303,
yeah.
where he just kind of like was holding like they just continued to grapple the whole game, but because the whole match,
Yeah.
but because he continuously had takedowns, he got points that way. Even though he had no strikes, he had no attempts of submission or anything like that.
I don't know. The only one I can think of was good transition. The only one I can think of is Jalton Almeida versus Derrick Henry. And Jalton Almeida fought Sergey
Hmm.
Spavik and just fucking cleaned his clock in the first round.
Yeah.
Very surprised. I didn't expect him to knock him out.
Hmm.
Moving on. Kevin Holland got submitted by Ritter. I'm gonna not gonna try to go
Yeah.
his first name, even though they said it a
Isn't it
lot.
Rainer?
I think it was
Rainer
Rainer de
de
Ritter.
Ritter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peyton Talbot ended his undefeated streak. He got finished, which was, I believe, an upset, like a pretty big one. And that was the thing. It was a big night for undefeated fighters. Like
Hmm.
Umar going in, I believe, was undefeated. He lost. Peyton Talbot,
Yeah.
he lost his undefeated. There's another one. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. A little further down. Yeah, the Raina McNamara.
That dude lost.
Yeah. But overall, it was a good card. Good first pay-per-view of the year. Um, I really fell off of UFC towards the end of the year. Just not a lot
Well,
of the fights were really
yeah.
interesting to me,
And
and
also football too was
football,
kind
yeah,
of.
took over. Um, but I want to get back into it. There's a lot of interesting things going on
Mhm.
that I'm really looking forward to this year of fighting.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a great way to end my Saturday night after
Yep.
watching the Lions
Yeah.
because I was really surprised by that.
Speaking of the new year, this was something I kind of came up with an idea last second. I didn't have time to talk to you about it,
Okay,
but like now that we're going on the new year, what are the plans for the podcast? Whatnot
interesting.
for us? Like because I already have a couple ideas
Yeah,
on
that's
what
I have that.
because I know we talked a little bit about it, but like shorts and good thumbnails
Yeah.
going forward.
So I mean, stuff that I have written down, and I thought we. I mean, we don't have to do this on the podcast.
Hmm.
We can.
Yeah,
We
let's
want to
just
just
do it.
yeah.
Like to finish off the podcast.
So beer Olympics. Um, that's something we talked about.
Yep.
We might not have the full footage, maybe some highlights here
Yeah.
and there of maybe just us and anybody who says they're okay with us
Yeah.
filming them. But overall, we won't record the whole event. It's going to be
Hmm.
a long.
a long day.
and we do not have the prowess to edit and cut and make it
No.
look very sexy for people. Um, so we're looking at this maybe 2 videos of our predictions going in
Mhm.
the draft, breaking down breaking down people who we have
Yeah.
and their skills, attributes, and how it kind of goes in.
Yeah.
Um,
And we'll come up with nicknames so that like
we'll say
it's
like
just being
first name, and
respectful.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we won't say like number 14. We
Yeah.
won't say just that.
Yeah.
Um, so that's 2 ideas. I was thinking like a trivia night of like us writing each other's questions of
Yeah.
each fandom. Like we can
Mhm.
either do like I would do either. I feel like we would start with the fandoms that I think we're most secure in. Like you
Yeah.
would do Iowa State football, and
Mhm.
either I would do Rams football
Yeah.
or something. And depending on what it is, we can have like a little study session or
Mhm.
something. Gaming with the boys we talked
Yep.
about. Whether that be LAN parties or one-on-one
Yep.
matchups with between the 2 of us.
And like I was even gonna get an Elgato capture device
Yeah.
because they've definitely dropped in price since I was when they first became a thing.
Yeah, I remember
Because
that in middle school, it was
they
like
were like 400 or 500
and you're
bucks.
like, "Mm-mm."
No, I remember trying to convince my dad that I could be a YouTuber. Like I already got the computer, I just need this, and he goes like, "No, video games can't. You can't make
Gonna
money
rot
playing
your
video
brain,
games."
son.
And then yeah, and then I show him, PewDiePie is a multi-million dollar. It's just like this guy, all he does play video games, Dad. You know that thing you said to me when I was 12? Bullshit.
Interviews, we locked down our first one,
Yep.
Josh Chesler. Love to
Hell
bring
of a
him
list.
back.
Yeah.
We just got done with another one
Mhm.
with Mary. Mary Pritchard, who's my cousin. We've known her for a long time. She does sports media with the local college in the area. We talk about her experiences with that, going to university, how to get started in it. If
Mhm.
you do want to pursue that, how is the
How do
best
you
way to
yeah.
do it? And then just kind of her life in sports, either as like a young athlete whenever
Mhm.
she was coming up, or like the snowboarding, which she's pretty
Yeah.
passionate about. Um, I mean, we've talked about AJ, CJ.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know, we have
Those
to.
were like the only athletes. There was a couple that went to our high school. The Johnsons, like Kay Johnson, who is he's was last I saw he was on the or he's now on the practice squad of the Seahawks. But
Mm,
before he was a bench player on the Seahawks.
yeah.
Um, Aiden Johnson plays for he played for Iowa and K State as a receiver.
Yep.
Um, he's also someone that maybe we could try and reach out to, just because like we have mutuals on Instagram.
Sure.
I might be able to reach out and be like, "Hey, man, like small nobody
If
podcast.
you're in town.
Yeah, if you're in town, let me know and we'll get something set up."
um, we talked about it. I think it'd be a good idea if we pursued it. Combine for the Joes, like you and me
Oh
go out
yeah,
and try to do combines. Um, we'll be doing a summer softball league we talked about with Mary. Um, maybe we can
yeah,
talk about, I don't know if we film it. Yeah.
probably not.
Maybe just a little bit of here and there's
Yeah,
any kind of like wild stories because dude,
I
sometimes
might
people can get pretty chippy.
I might get the Rode
GoPro,
mics
yeah, and
and
just
put the
clip
Rode
'em.
mic on, and then
Yeah.
have the lady just record me,
Yeah.
or like, and then maybe switch off with you whenever you go up at the bat,
Hmm.
and just like, all right,
The
and you're
fun
right
band,
here, and just
yeah.
like whips, yeah,
Did I say right here? I meant
the next one,
so yeah, I got some ideas.
and like,
Definitely one of the things I think we need to have like a good team meeting
yeah,
of like,
and me and the lady now that I'm moving in with her,
mhm,
she's okayed the idea for her home gym, so if I
yes,
can get a bench, we're solid there for
yeah,
doing the bench right there.
mhm,
All I'd have to do is get some way to measure our vertical
yeah.
for the combine. So
Which what
that's
you could, it's, I mean, depending, we just we find like a brick wall and then
yeah,
with a piece of chalk,
or tape.
jump up. You could do
You
tape
just have
too.
tape on your hand and then just
Yeah, you could
yeah.
do tape too.
So yeah, we got the ability to get everything done, and I think this is going to be the year like we follow through on a lot of the things we've said. Um, especially now that Matt, just
You're
because
just
like
gonna keep going, huh? No, go on, keep
no,
going, keep
I
talking.
think this is the year we
Yeah.
start doing better about following up on what we're saying that like we want to do. Now that I'm out of the army and I'm finally getting a little bit more of a consistent schedule, I've been working on that part. I've been getting the edits done a lot faster compared to the past. So I think this is gonna be a good year for us, 2025. Um, I already found the title for this episode,
Yeah,
Maddie like the
Jinx.
Jinx.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I like this year going in.
Hmm.
Pretty solid idea.
We recorded a long time ago. Field goal kicking competition.
Yep.
Ton of fun. Wouldn't be mad if we did something like that
Oh
again.
yeah, 100%.
Had a great time doing that.
Dude, what
Um,
if we played like knockout? I mean, we'd need more people, but like,
I would lose.
or pig or something like that.
I'd lose. Like horse? Is
Yeah,
horse the same
horse.
thing as?
Yeah,
Yeah, I would definitely lose. I'm getting better. Like
yeah.
I played Josh
Mm.
one on one on basketball.
Did you
Eh,
beat him?
I did, dude. Dude, 7-0. He
Hell yeah.
couldn't get anything on the board.
Couldn't get anything.
Anything on the board. Not that my defense was stellar. Like at a
Yeah,
point, you're just doing the things. You're like, I'm just gonna let him shoot, and he
yeah.
just because he was just trying to go for threes to get back
Mm.
into it. And dude, every time it was so fucking funny. It was either like just barely enough that it hits the rim,
Yeah,
bounce out, just too much, hits the
yeah,
backboard, shoots off, and then somewhere just doesn't even hits the net. I think
yeah,
he had like 3 or 4 in the row that just hit the net. And he goes, nothing but net.
yeah.
Because at first he's like, nothing but net, like
Yeah,
just
he
like
starts off all
fucking,
hyped,
and then
but after your 20th, like nothing but net, you're like,
yeah, nothing but net.
I guess.
But yeah,
Yeah,
stuff like that. There's a few. I mean, I don't have any other ideas right now.
right now, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm also thinking me finally being back in the same state as you
mm,
is definitely helping.
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
us a lot better. Better.
yeah.
Got a little bit more official of a setup.
For now,
For now.
yeah.
The next thing I want to get like shit to buy actual cameras.
Yeah, I said that
That's yeah.
too. Yeah, that better lighting. I like the one.
Yep.
Maybe get 2
I
more.
found another one.
Yeah.
Unpacking some stuff at the ladies.
Oh, she
She
has
has
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so I'm just like
If you don't mind me borrowing it.
yeah.
Anyway, we're kind of spinning our wheels in the
No,
mud.
but yeah.
Um, I think we're good to kind of call this one.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining the MattCast podcast. I am Maddie Light, joined by my co-host Maddie J. Thank you guys for coming.
Bye.